All right, thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Hodel, thanks for your testimony before the committee today. Last summer, I took a virtual tour of Midwest Warehouse in Peoria and got to meet some of your wonderful team members. One issue that came up during the conversations that I had there was the issue of storage. And with the farmers to families food boxes, many of the food banks and pantries didn't have the infrastructure that was needed so they could keep perishable commodities fresh. We heard this from other places as well. So my question is, did the Midwest Food Bank have the cold storage infrastructure that you needed to keep items like milk and eggs and meat fresh? And as part of the Farmers to Families Food Box program, did you receive an allotment of funds for storage and distribution?
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Bustos, for the question. In general, yes, we did have adequate capacity. Midwest Food Bank has worked hard to ensure our freezer and cooler and capacity size is adequate as we build and expand our facilities. We did bring on additional storage. We were able to purchase some additional external trailers or sea containers. So we added some capacity in the midst. In some cases, we were blessed to do that with some private funding and support. In other cases, we did see some CARES dollars get extended out to the food bank that allowed us to put that cold storage and capacity in place. So like anything with the disruption, we kind of had to modify our modes of operation multiple times in real time. One of the things that we did to accommodate for that was to increase the frequency of our distribution. Knowing our agencies could not hold the items, we would increase their pickup 2-3 times a week so that they could take what they could hold and distribute within a day and come back the next day. So those were some things from an operational perspective that we just had to be nimble and work our way through.
So how do you see that as far as the cold storage going forward? Do you still have additional needs? And if you could even broaden that beyond just your own organization, what you're hearing from your colleagues as far as what the need is for cold storage?
Yeah, I think that's always the prize space in the warehouse is the cold storage. And it varies. I think it varies across the food banks that we have or the food banks that I visit. I think support for the wholesale food banks to have that infrastructure in place would certainly be welcome. Funding support, because we know that those dollars translate in holding nutritious food. And so those dollars really at the end user client resulted that they get a more healthier food item because we were able to have it in cold storage. And likewise, I think the granting opportunities available for even our agencies. There's thousands of pantries across the U.S. that would benefit from additional cooler and additional freezer. We try to connect them with those resources as well. I think it's both at the wholesale food bank level, but also at the retail food pantry level that benefit would help.
Thank you, Mr. Hodel. A follow-up question. The Midwest Food Bank serves a large portion of central Illinois, including parts of the congressional district that I serve. What are some of the unique challenges that you have faced that in delivering meals to more of the rural areas in our state?
Yeah, I think the infrastructure for people to get to our food banks. And so we've just had to kind of extend ourselves out in terms of our distribution sites. But I think it's also the challenge of just knowing who is in need. Sometimes them raising their hand or getting a good contact with them. What we have found, it requires kind of multiple trips into a region and setting up a mobile pantry. Then the word starts to spread. And so I think it's through repetition and some consistency that is key. But at the same time, making sure that you have product there that they can take home and use, and it's a benefit for them and their family. So it's a journey that we continue to learn, but we certainly have our eyes and ears open to how we can best serve kind of all of the rural areas equally.
All right, very good. Thank you, Mr. Hodel. My time is about ready to expire, and with that, I yield back, Madam Chair.